and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome into game night. Now, normally we come to you live from Golden One Center with the high flyer me. Well, we thought we'd mix things up a little bit. That's what happens when you come in on a 4-game losing streak. So tonight we're out on remote. We're out here at the beautiful downtown location of Beachhead Deli. It's right across the street from the arena. A perfect place to stop by before every game, concert, and event. Pick up your food, get some beverage, get ready for the big game. That's what we're doing tonight here until 6:30 as the Kings get ready to take on the Atlanta Hawks. And Henry, obviously it's been a tough run for the Kings of late, losing to the Pacers 126-121 on Thursday, a game that really wasn't that close. They made that late run, a la kind of what Phoenix did against us. The Kings couldn't finish it off, though. We know about the free throw situation. We're hoping maybe with a few days off that maybe the vibe will be different tonight.
You know, I was hoping it was going to be the exact same thing, Scott, to where, you know, the team gets a couple of days off, they get some rest, get a chance to recharge some batteries, get a chance to flush some old baggage, and hopefully they can come back and start anew. I really thought that this is exactly what this team needed, you know, a full weekend off just to recharge, man, and get your mind right and refocus back to basketball.
Yeah, if there was ever a time for a 3-day break, this was it.
Oh, they needed it, no doubt.
Yep, 4 straight. It's the first time they've lost 4 straight since going back to the start of last year. And I know last year's theme was don't lose 3 in a row.
Yes.
Don't lose 4 in a row. I know we kind of moved our themes this year, but now that they have lost 4 in a row, they got to find a way to stop this. And if there's any way, I mean, again, it doesn't matter because we've said this time and time again. We saw this with Charlotte. I mean, Atlanta comes in tonight. No Trae Young. We'll get into their lineup situation, but it all sets up for the Kings. But the bottom line is it's really about how the Kings are playing.
It has everything to do with who's wearing a purple uniform, no doubt. Don't care what's going on over there with Atlanta. The Kings got to get themselves right. You know, it really hasn't been about their opponent.
Yep.
I think a lot of the Kings' woes have been self-inflicted. I mean, think about it, Scott. I mean, turning the basketball over big time. I think a lot of those turnovers were self-inflicted. Not being able to knock down free throws, self-inflicted.
Yes.
Struggling on the defensive end, self-inflicted. You know, things to where I really think they can really fix and bear down and, you know, come back from. But they really going to have to just really concentrate on those type of things and get those type of things under wraps, you know, and especially the free throw shooting. You know, back when I played, Scott, if you was a guard, you had to at least shoot the free throw ball at a good 80 clip. If you didn't, you had extra homework to do after every game. You had to go in, whether you played 20 or whether you played 30 minutes, you had to go in and you had to knock down 100 free throws before you left and went home. You know, the kids could be outside, it's dinner time, mom, whoever, you had to knock down those free throws before you went home, you know. And if you was a big man, you had to be at least at 75%. They wanted 78, but if you was around 75, they gave you a pass. So, you know, it was one of those things to where you had to be able to knock those shots down.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Kings didn't. They missed 14 free throws in a loss to the Pacers. They were 18 of 32, and I hate to bring it up, but that 14 missed free throws. I couldn't help in watching that game. It was 14 missed free throws in Game 7 against the Kings-Lakers going way back, and it brought a little PTSD back to me, just seeing them miss free throws late in games like that. Now, Sabonis certainly has not been a good free throw shooter all season long. He's under 70%. De'Aaron, we know, is struggling low 70% when we'd like to see him in the high 70%. Malik Monk, don't know what to make of that. Obviously, he missed a couple of big free throws in Milwaukee, and it's kind of carried over now. He was 1 of 6 in the Indiana game.
You know, for me, Scott, being an ex-player myself, I understand the full ramification of free throws. You know, it's such a simplistic part of basketball, but it's more so a concentration type thing. You know, we shoot free throws over and over again since we've been 5 or 6 years old. Nothing has changed. The free throw line is still the same. The ball is still the same. The rim is still the same. It's repetition. The only thing that throws your free throw shot off is your concentration. And I think the Kings aren't really, concentrating as hard as they should be on knocking those shots down.
No doubt. All right. If you're coming out to the game, come on, stop by, say hi to us. We'll be here until 6:30 tonight. We're at the downtown location. Beautiful, off 7th and K, right here in downtown Beach Hut
It's
Deli.
a nice spot right here,
It's
man.
fantastic. They've done a fabulous job building this location, and it's a beautiful place to be. We're happy to be here tonight. Free throws, all right. We've talked about that a lot. I think the thing that was most disappointing to me, and I think to a lot of Kings fans, was just how easily TJ McConnell just consistently drove the lane. There was no Tyrese Halliburton in that game, and you thought, okay, got a chance with the guards. But McConnell, he honestly looked like Steve Nash in his MVP season with the Suns.
Scott, that was hard to watch. I've always liked TJ McConnell.
Great player.
I've always liked him. Even when he came here and worked out, I'm like, this kid is okay. He's going to be able to stay in this league and do some things. But you watched how he played. Number one, Energizer Bunny. The dude motor is high.
Yep.
His motor's at a very high level. And I'm like you. I was shocked at whoever got in front of him. He got to the basket at will.
Yep.
No
resistance. Straight
line to the basket, layup. And I'm like, okay, fellas, when are we going to rotate? When are we going to help? And, and I understand the mantra sometimes. This is TJ McConnell. There's no way, no how you're supposed to be stunting at TJ. That should not happen at all.
Yeah.
You should be able to stay in front of him. And if you have to double team TJ McConnell, come on.
Yeah.
We really have a problem here. But, at some particular point, I'm thinking to myself, hey, man, he need a little help. Somebody go do something with him because he had all the answers.
Yep.
Every time they needed a bucket, he got to the basket, whether he drove all the way or whether he did the sneaky parts, got to whether he dribbled all the way up under the basket, circled around, came back, and then laid the ball up again. It's one of those situations to where, okay, I know you're guarding your man, but where is the basketball? You have to be able to see. It's a thing called ball me man. That's when you're playing defense. You have to be able to see the ball, where yourself is, and you have to be able to see your man just in case somebody get beat and they need help.
No question. And, in the Phoenix game, obviously the Kings got exploited in the last 8 minutes when Phoenix went small. And Mike Brown talked about how he took Sabonis out because he didn't want to have the pick and roll and the switch on Sabonis, right? So that's all Indiana was doing, was running pick and roll all night long, and there was no switch by the Kings. There was nothing to offset that, and I think that might be the most alarming thing right now.
And, Scott, let's go back to that when Phoenix went small, quote-unquote small.
Yes. I mean, you still have Durant. Okay, that's your small ball, right?
Here's the deal. This is the problem that Phoenix really posed for the Kings. When you have a 7-foot Kevin Durant, yes, he's going to be able to stand against Sabonis, long arm, be able to bother him on the shot. He's still 7 foot, right?
Yep.
Now, on the defensive side, you have that. But on the offensive side, who's going to guard Kevin Durant?
Right.
Because he's playing on the outside. Phoenix spread the floor.
Yep.
And you use Kevin Durant in pick and rolls. When Sabonis steps out, it's either one or two things going to happen. Either he's got to switch out on a point guard that's going to blow past him, and then you got to rotate and scramble. That plays right into Phoenix hands because they want to spray out for three.
Yep.
Or you double team, and guess what? Kevin Durant is wide open, and it's another thing. They're wide open for three.
Yep.
So they played right into Phoenix hands, and then when you stop, the Kings stop. They start playing not to win, but they was playing not to lose.
Yep.
And all the offensive momentum just froze.
No doubt. And at some point, De'Aaron Fox has proven he's a very good defensive player. At some point, it's got to be some good man-to-man defense to not allow that entry into the basket, right?
Yes. And I would have thought that De'Aaron would have been on TJ a lot more, but he wasn't. And honestly, at some point, I think Mike threw a little bit of everybody at TJ, but, he was just so crafty at doing what he does. And then, it got so bad that he was getting to the basket on such a high rate. I'm telling you, Scott, in this league, when you start helping and when you have to stunt and when you have to run these gimmick type defenses, that's what offenses want you to do because it leaves somebody open.
Yep.
And if it takes you 2 seconds to get a shot off in the NBA, that's too long. All it takes is 1 second and that shot's going.
No doubt. All right. The quote of the night was from Kevin Herter, who, by the way, had a career high 31 points. Hopefully, Kevin's starting to find his footing. He's had a couple of good shooting games here of late. His quote on the free throws, quote, "We shot ourselves in the foot. This is the third game in a row. This is happening against 3 good teams. It feels like it's all self-inflicted, and that's why it's frustrating for us. It's no secret. We can't miss 14 free throws at home and expect to beat a team that's that good. This is stuff we can control." Okay, our post-game conversation brought to you by Folsom Lake Honda. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. He's absolutely right. You said it's a matter of making yourself accountable, making sure you shoot those shots, obviously, in practice to build up the confidence in games. Sometimes, as much as you can, it's getting the right people to the line. The challenge I see with the Kings is their best players are the ones who are struggling from the line right now.
And can I say this too, Scott? This is where you don't want the team to go. And I'm going to reference this, and I know you remember. You remember when Tim Duncan was having such a hard time making free throws that 1 year?
Sure.
I mean, the dude would knock down bank shots. He would knock down the free throw line jump shot. But when he went to the free throw line, you seen a whole different Tim Duncan. His whole mind frame just changed. And, and he didn't go to the free throw line with the sentiment of, okay, I'm going to knock this shot down. He went to the free throw line. You seen on his face, it was like, please, just don't let it come off that bad.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that our guys don't get to where when they go to the free throw line, it's like you're nervous. Oh, my God, I got to hit these free throws. I don't want them to put that much pressure on themselves, but it is going to have to be a level of pressure of, you know what, I'm going to the free throw line. I'm knocking down these 2.
No question.
It's a thin line, though, Scott.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah, because obviously it's so mental, especially with the free throws. So you've got to find a way to break through that. And hopefully the Kings can. They get the Hawks tonight. And, again, in the NBA, there's no real must-win scenarios per se, but this is the game before they go back out on the road. You would love to get this one tonight. Give yourself some momentum before you head out to Golden State on Thursday.
Not even just momentum, Scott. Give yourself some feel good. I mean, this team has lost some games, and the way that they have lost has been very, demoralizing for this basketball team. They didn't even really have to deal with this last year. Yeah. Think about it. The expectation for this team is so high, but then you go out and let a team like Houston mollywop you twice.
Yep.
You let New Orleans just manhandle you, and then you come to Portland. Portland, you lose to a bunch of kids in Portland. So, these type of situations didn't happen to them last year to where when you lost, it was demoralizing.
Yep.
When you lost last year, it was just, okay, it was just another loss. But when expectations shoot through the roof like they are this year, now you have to take care of business. And these last 4 games that they done lost have really, hit home with these guys. So they have to win this next game just to get their mindset back to go out on the road. Really, Golden State ain't a road game. You're right down the street. Okay?
True.
We played them more than we played anybody else.
Yep.
So that's not really a road game, but you got to get your mind right before you even start thinking about going down there.
You do. And then after Golden State, you go to Dallas, you go to Memphis and Miami. So the Kings certainly, and
not a cakewalk,
and the Pacers and the Bulls,
and not a cakewalk,
and the Cavs. So
yeah,
you do have a long road trip coming up. There is no doubt about it. So it's 7 for the Kings. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about that. It's also the exact midpoint of the season, so we'll get into that after 41 games. We'll assess all of that. Again, it's game night. It's brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the Power of Family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. We are broadcasting live from the downtown location, Beach Hut Deli, until 6:30 tonight. Come by and say hi on your way out to the game. It is game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Dials, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
For today's show and tell, I present my phone. It's made with glass and various metals I can't pronounce. It's powered by Xfinity Mobile, so my family saves big. Take a handout.
Colin, what are these?
I'm quizzing the class on the material.
Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save hundreds a year with the best price for 2 lines of unlimited. Just $30 a line a month. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Unlimited Intro Service and Xfinity Internet required. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Welcome back into Game Night. We're coming to you live from the downtown Beach Hut Deli, 7th and K, right across from the arena. Come by and say hi. The High Flyer May will be with you until 6:30 tonight. Troy Feist is here. You're going to want to see him. He's the man who started Beach Hut Deli, Henry.
Hey, you know what? Or at least come by and get one of these nice sandwiches they have, man. I mean, they got the surfing bird.
I love that
North
one.
Shore.
Turkey, little cream cheese.
You know what? I think I'm going to ride with this sunrise, man. This sunrise looking nice.
Pastrami.
Ham, turkey, and bacon. You know,
Okay.
you can tell I'm a meat guy.
I hear you, man.
Give me the meats.
I love it. Brad Wakai, the new owner here. Great guy.
And you know what? I mean, they got a vast array of stuff here, man. I mean, they got the vegetarian spot, they got the vegan classics. They got a lot going on.
They got it all going on down here. So come by and say hi. And of course, you can always stop by before each and every game. All right, let's get back into our Kings conversation. Obviously, we are at the exact midpoint of the season. We're 23-18 as Atlanta comes in tonight. I'm not much of a teacher. I don't know about grades and everything like that. We have talked overall. Last year, the team was very similar. In fact, the Kings technically may even have a little better record than they did last year at this point. That's not really the point, though. Obviously, the expectations are totally different. It just feels different where this Kings team is at. Where would you evaluate the situation for the Kings going into the second half of the year?
If you want me to grade the first half, I would probably say a C-.
Okay.
You know, they're playing decent basketball, but this team could be a lot further than where they are. You know, we talked about, you know, the holes in the games that they missed.
Yep.
You know, we talked about the 20-point deficits that they've gotten used to doing. We talk about the missed free throws. We talk about underestimating some of the teams that come in that's undermanned. We've seen all of these things that this team has been guilty of doing. Now, they still have a decent record. That's why I give them the C category. They have the decent record, but if they would have been taking care of business and doing things the way they really needed to be doing, I would have gave them a B+ because they would have definitely been up still around in that third or fourth position.
Yeah, no question. All right. Second half of the year, obviously the Kings, the ultimate goal, if they win a playoff round, it's going to be considered a successful series
No doubt.
Right now, I think they're currently 8th in the Western Conference, so they're not necessarily even at a top 6 spot. Of course, they finished 3rd in the league last year. I think the goal for the team has to be to finish in the top 6 right now.
I've said that from the beginning.
Yep.
You know, I know what it took for them to finish 3rd. And at that particular point, I really felt like all the stars aligned correctly for the Sacramento Kings for that to happen. No doubt they played some very good basketball, but the league helped them out a lot. Injuries helped them out a lot. So, they wound up in that third position. Now, as far as, where could they be on their own? I was like, if the Kings can just be in top six situations where they don't have to bump in from the play-in game. If you could be in that top six where you legitimately make it to the playoffs, that was a win for me.
Yeah, no doubt. That's no small accomplishment considering how good the Western Conference is this year. And I think that's the question. Obviously, the Kings stood pat last year. They did not make a significant move. They did a couple of years ago. We know that. As we look at 2024, can the Kings accomplish the goal of doing that without making a move?
Now that's the big question, Scott. That's the Powerball question. That's
the high flyer crystal ball question.
If you could answer that, and honestly, you don't even need a crystal ball, Scott, to say, okay, can they run it back, as they say, with the exact same crew? It's not happening right now.
Yeah.
It's not going well right now. So, are the Kings going to sit there and just say, okay, well, we think it's going to come back around? Or do they say, okay, we need to make a couple of changes, plug a couple of holes, and then start making our trek again? I think that's the boat that they're in.
No question. And again, you hear about how connected this team is, how good the chemistry is. We have no reason to question that. It seems like this is a team that has great chemistry and are very connected to one another. Having said that, it's ultimately always about results. Are you as concerned about affecting the chemistry in the second half of the season?
Depending upon who they feel like moving. Because I think it's a couple of guys that if you move them, a lot of the camaraderie is shot. First of all, I mean, let's keep it 100.
Yep.
You're not moving De'Aaron or Sabonis.
Oh, of course not.
Contracts are way too big. Nobody's taking either one of those guys. All right. So now you got to go down the line, and the next smartest and available guy, I'm not even saying he's available, but I'm saying the next smartest target that you would target if you're anybody that's in a GM position is Keegan Murray. And for me, just on the camaraderie side, him and De'Aaron is too tight for that.
Yeah.
De'Aaron loves this kid. So I think he's untouchable. And then if you will take another step down, I say, okay, well, Malik Monk has an expiring contract. So he would be a very coveted guy for other GMs to look at. But when you look at Malik Monk, number one, him and De'Aaron is boys, and they're playing great together. And then Malik Monk is probably, quote unquote, our best facilitator that we have on this basketball team. He has a great rapport with Domas in the high pick and roll. He has a great rapport with Trey Lyles on the drive and the spray out kick. Yep. Same thing with Keegan Murray. And then he even helps JaVale McGee on the lob game.
Yep.
So to me, he's another guy that's kind of untouchable.
Yeah. So
where do you go from there? I mean, how many more guys on our roster would you say other teams are looking at saying, we can use them?
That's the question. That's the ultimate question. And, the report out was Harrison Barnes. It was a heavy price tag if they were going to move him. They were talking multiple first-round picks. I don't know many teams that are going to want to offer that at this point. So it just becomes a real interesting mix of where the Kings are at the moment. And obviously, when you lose 4 straight, these questions become a lot more.
And you know what, Scott?
Up front.
Because, see, you really have to understand the methodical work that GMs have to do. Because when I hear you say they're looking for picks for Harrison Barnes, I'm looking at this basketball team saying those picks are not for down the road.
Yeah.
Those picks are to be used right now.
Yeah, it's about getting the team better
to go out and get a guy that's going to be able to fix this team right now. I know a lot of people are like, well, give them picks. Well, so what? So what? No. Those picks are not for later on down the line and developing guys. You need a guy that's going to come in and help change things right now. So you get some first round picks and then be able to throw a guy in with a couple of picks and hopefully you get a good player.
Yep, no doubt. All right. Second half of the season starts tonight. Atlanta is in town. The Hawks are going to be without Ice Trey. We'll get into the injury report in a little bit. When we come back, though, we'll go around the league. And we mentioned the Kings are going to be in Golden State on Thursday, and obviously such an exceedingly difficult time for the Golden State Warriors with the passing of their assistant coach.
That's tough.
It's more than tough.
That's
Our heartfelt prayers and thoughts go out to the entire organization and the family of Milojevic. And we'll get into that in a little bit. We'll go around, get you caught up on the scoreboard. Embiid having a huge night tonight for Philly. We'll get you caught up on all of that as well. Game night is being brought to you by our good friends at National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special, 916-638-4554. More of Game Night coming to you live from the Beachhead Deli right here in the heart of downtown 7th and K Street on Sactown Sports 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Clouds and showers will be clearing the area as we go through the night tonight. By early tomorrow morning, there'll be some areas of fog. Otherwise, tomorrow afternoon will turn out partly cloudy with highs around 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients meet us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip. Brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140 coming to you live. Normally we're inside the arena, but tonight we took it outside. You know, sometimes when you got to exercise some things and just get right, you set up a new setup, and we've got a good one here with the Beachhead Deli in downtown Sacramento off 7th and K, just across from the arena. Beautiful location. We'll be here until 6:30. Come by and say hi. Game night being brought to you by our good friends at the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. If you have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community, maybe mentoring a young kid in our community, would be the thing for you to do. Find out all about it. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn all about becoming a volunteer mentor. All right, we go around the league, and obviously we mentioned before going to the break, the Kings will start their 7-game road trip in Golden State on Thursday. The Warriors, of course, just going through such an awful personal tragedy with the death of assistant coach Dejan Milojevic, and they're still trying to get back. They just had their first practice today since everything unfolded last Tuesday night while they were getting ready to take on the Utah Jazz. They had 2 games postponed. Steve Kerr talking to the media today, quote, "It's hard to describe last week. Heartbreaking, devastating. It's the saddest thing I have ever been a part of in the NBA. The last 5 days have been full of the shock, the emotion, the extreme outpouring of love from all over the world." And Henry, you know what it's like to be a part of a team. It's a family situation, and you spend so much time with everybody. You really are brothers in arm, and to have that unfold there, it's going to take. You'll never fully recover from something like this, but just for them to have to try and get back to the thinking about playing basketball, I can't even imagine.
That's the tough part, Scott, because, you know, when you're on a basketball team, it's not like you're on a football team where you got all these players and all these different pieces that's moving around. I mean, you might have 20 guys, all right? Yeah. And when you talk about players and coaches, you know, it's like a piece of your family. You know, everybody is just that tight. It's a family knit type situation. And you talk about, you know, I mean, we understand this is life.
Yeah.
This is life. Things happen, people come, people go. So when you have to deal with that, but it's tough when you have to turn right back around and then still have to deal with the game. Because at the end of the day, basketball is a game.
Yep.
You know, what happened to Dejan is life. And I think life over trumps the game. We always say there's nothing bigger than the game. But I'm sorry, life steps out first.
Of course.
So you really have to take care of things like that. And it's hard to, you know, to go through something like that. And then they ask you, well, you know what? You know, we know your heart's torn out. We know your mind's not right. But can we get back to this game? And it's tough as a player.
No question. They started today's practice session. They watched a 15-minute tribute all about Belgrade, where Dejan was from. They spent another hour just afterwards kind of regrouping, settling team emotions, all of those things before they decided to try and get back out on the court. And again, you know, they were right there when this whole thing happened last week. And so, you know, there's just a lot of things individually. Everybody processes things in a different way and different time.
You know, and like I said, you know, it's tough to deal with a life tragedy, and then get asked to come back and play a game.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, different people mourn in different ways, but I'll tell you what, you know, I don't care who you are or where you are. If you lose a family member, it's kind of tough to get back to your day-to-day grind in such a quick turnaround.
Yeah, and we'll see how they are able to. Right now, the game Wednesday, the Hawks are on the road trip. They play here, and then they finish up the road trip at Golden State on Wednesday. That game is scheduled. Obviously, the Kings are scheduled to be there on Thursday as well. And we'll just see how the Golden State Warriors are able to regroup in the next couple of days for that. As for things going on the court right now, we have something very special going on in Philadelphia right now, as Joel Embiid, with 9.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter with the Suns up 112-96. He is making a statement against the Rook Wembanyama right now. Embiid has got 59 points and 15 rebounds so far.
I think, you know what, I honestly think Joel is taking this year very personal, because every time a big man comes into his arena, or whether he's on the road, to where it's even a question about who's the best big man in this league, he goes out and he shows them that he is the most dominant big man in this league, and nobody can do nothing with him.
He is 21 of 35 from the field. He is 16 of 17 from the free throw line.
Say what?
Yeah.
He's a big guy shooting free throws?
He's 16 of 17 from the line.
Where do they make them at?
He's got 9 offensive rebounds of his 15 boards. He also has 4 assists so far in the game. And there's only been 8 players in NBA history to get to the 70-point mark. We'll see if he can get there tonight.
You know, hey, if they keep him in the game, he definitely going to get 70. I mean, if he still has that mindset of I'm going to get it, and it doesn't seem like San Antonio has any resistance up against this man. So 70 shouldn't be hard to get.
No doubt. All right, other games going on right now. Bucks and Pistons good one in Detroit right now. Bucks are leading, but only 95-94. The Pistons are 4-38, as we know. They're just 2-19 at home. But I do give Monty Williams a lot of credit. The Pistons team, unlike a couple of like the Wizards, in my opinion, this is a team that has never collapsed and just completely given up.
Because they have a bunch of young guys. They have a bunch of young talent down there, and they have a bunch of guys that are still trying to make their way. I always say this when you have a young team. When you have a bunch of veterans on your team, you're not playing well, those guys will check in. But the young guys are still trying to make their way. They understand that you better go out and you better show not just us, but you're definitely advertising to every other team that's out there to where you can show you belong in this league.
Yeah, no question. They've been doing that. Grizz leading the Raptors right now. Of course, Toronto still trying to find their way after the Pascal.
Siakam.
Yes. By the way, you didn't get a chance to see him on Thursday night. I know you were kind of looking forward to it, but again, not really, because again,
they didn't need him.
No, they didn't.
Oh my God!
By the way, it's our first chance to talk about this, but what do you think about the trade for Indiana?
That shoots Indiana up to top 4, top 5 in the East.
Yep.
I think Pascal Siakam is exactly what they needed. I mean, you have to think about this, Scott, and we talk about this because the Kings are in a certain situation to where they need to bring somebody in to help this team. When you go out and you get a Pascal Siakam type, right?
Yep.
This guy is the number one option for the Raptors. He's not going to come to a team to where he's going to be the number 2. He's going to be the number 3. He still wants to be the number 1. Now, with us, that's going to be hard because we have De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron's going to be number 1. And then Sabonis is going to be number 2 because the ball is in Sabonis' hands more than it is in De'Aaron's hands.
Right, that's true.
All right? So, to bring a guy like Pascal in, because he's going to be like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, which rightfully so. That's what he does. He's a scorer.
Right.
That's why he's coveted the way he is.
Yeah.
But when you send him to somewhere like Indiana, okay, Reese is the guy, but Reese is a facilitator.
Yeah.
Reese is getting up off the ball. All right. You have Turner down there. You have some other pieces around, but Pascal can still be that guy because I'm going to tell you what, Turner is the one that's going to really benefit from having Pascal on the floor. Now he don't have to do all the dirty work. The onus isn't all on him when that ball goes under that free throw line. You have some more help down there. So I think he's going to help Indiana out big time.
I do too. So you've got the Celtics, obviously atop the Eastern Conference, 33-10. The Bucks are 29-13. 76ers 28-13.
Yep.
How about the Cavs? They've won 8 of their last 10, 7 in a row. They're 25-15. The Knicks are 26-17, and then the Pacers are tied for 6th place with the Heat at 24-19. Within that, I'm assuming we put the Celtics, Bucks, and 76ers in a different category.
Yes.
Do the Pacers leapfrog the Heat, Knicks, and Cavs?
We're going to be able to see. We're going to have to be able to see because I tell you what, I think that puts them in a very good position. I still would put the Heat in there just because of who they are, their culture, and how they've always played basketball. I think the Heat will turn it on, and they will be in the top 4. But as far as the Cavaliers go, the Cavaliers are sneakily good.
They really are.
They're sneakily good. I mean,
Yes.
that's a word, but they're very
I know what
sneaky.
you mean by it.
They're sneaky good.
Yep.
And I think Indiana falls right in there with them. Who's ever playing the best basketball or who's ever having a better night will win a basketball game between the Pacers and the Cavaliers.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Timberwolves leading the Hornets at halftime 69-64. They lost a game on Saturday night in overtime to OKC. That was a great game. The Ant-Man had a tremendous game, and of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a great game for the Thunder, but kind of a statement game for OKC to go into Minnesota and get a win. They're one game back of Minnesota for the best record in the West. We keep asking this question. I think we have to say yes, that both the Timberwolves and the Thunder are for real. No?
Here's a better question than that.
Okay.
They're playing great right now.
They are.
Are they going to be able to hold it? We're talking 2 teams that haven't even been projected to be in the top 5. I mean, OKC might have been projected to be in the top 5, maybe.
Yeah.
Top 5, top 6. But Minnesota came out of nowhere. And we're talking about those 2 teams, and we haven't even said nothing about the reigning champs.
That's right.
We haven't said
Clippers.
about the Clippers, who seemingly got it going, got it rolling.
Yeah.
All right. Dallas is playing better basketball.
They are.
All right.
The Pelicans.
The Pelicans are playing decent. You always want to sprinkle in LeBron and AD somewhere.
The Suns have won 5 straight now.
And you have the Suns. Are they going to be able to hold those spots?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the Western Conference is going to be interesting. And, the Nuggets and Clippers are both 3rd and 4th in the league. I could easily see them surpassing Minnesota and Thunder for 1 and 2. But to the point is we kind of bring it back to the Kings. Right now, they're sitting 8th in the Western Conference. So you look at those other teams above them. I mean, it's going to be hard work.
It's going to be very hard work. And that's why, Scott, we always go through this scenario, but it's going to be true until you start playing consistent basketball. At the end, when you start looking at, okay, who's going to make it, who's not going to make it, you're going to be in the playoffs, you're going to be in the play-in. Those games early on, the ones that you let slide, the ones that you let slip, the games, the ones you want to flush away, comes back like a bad, number 2. After you flush the toilet, it comes back and reminds you of that turd. It's like, ugh. And that's going to come back and haunt the Kings when we start talking about, okay, where are you going to place?
Well, as you've always said, they all add up the same. It's 1 of 82, but that one is the same as the one is when you play the Lakers or the Suns or anybody else. So when you lose to Charlotte, it's still 1. You lose to the Hawks tonight, it's still 1.
Yep, it's still 1. And then, you start talking about the spread because, you stay on the spread. You keep counting that. You lose to New Orleans.
Yep.
And then you lose the season advantage, and all of a sudden you right there with them. And let's say you tie with them, then all of a sudden they leapfrog you for 1 game.
No question. Here's the other thing, too. The Kings are 500 on the road, and I think we always say if you have a record of 500 on the road,
it's good.
That's acceptable.
That's good, yes.
Kings started off good at home. They're 13-8 now. That doesn't seem like a good enough home record at this point through 21, does it?
It's acceptable. It's acceptable. You want a little more dominance. You really do. And at one point, I think we was looking at the Kings record saying they had that because
they were starting off great.
Yeah. I want to say that they probably was like 8 games in,
Yeah.
But losing those games at home really hurt. Losing those games overall hurt. And, right now they're still sitting where they were last year. But I'm telling you, it still isn't the feel good that we had last year because the Kings were just shooting up. We see the holes that this basketball team has. We see the ups and downs, the inconsistencies, and we know that it's going to take a lot more than that because a lot of luck went their way last year. That luck might not be there this year, so you got to play better basketball.
No question. And the Celtics, by the way, the best home team, they did get their first loss at home on Friday. Denver went in there and beat the Celtics in a thriller 102-100.
And no shade on that.
Not at all.
We're talking about the champs.
Yep.
If you're going to lose, I wasn't upset that the Kings lost to Milwaukee. If you're going to lose, you lose to a championship caliber team. I'm not upset that they lost to Philly. Even though Embiid is out.
Yep.
But still, that's Philly, a championship team. Now, when you come back to Portland and let Portland slap you around, now I got a little concern.
Yep, that's a different story.
Yes.
That's a completely different story. All right, Embiid has reached 60 with 6:25 to go. He's got 60 points now. He's still with 15 rebounds, so he's got about 6.5 minutes to see where he'll go, but a 60-point game tonight for Embiid.
I say you'll probably end up with like 65.
He's going to have to beat Giannis. Giannis had 64 this year. So I don't know if that makes any difference or not.
I tell you what, for him to get 5 more points is nothing.
True.
But we'll see.
We will see. We'll be tracking that and, of course, all the other games all night long. Now, Henry, we're going to let you get back over to the arena because you have Kings Live pregame.
Yes,
so
sir.
We'll get to that. But before you leave, just give us your thoughts on tonight. We know it's all about the Kings, but just kind of a synopsis of what you see.
It is. It's all about the Kings. They're going to have to come out and do the tangible things that they haven't been doing. We still want to see them shoot the basketball well. We still want to see them get the ball and go up and down. All right. They're going to have to start figuring out how to defend.
Yep.
I mean, defend is number one.
Yep.
They're going to have to be very good with the basketball. You can't turn the ball over. When you start turning the basketball over, even if you got an undermanned team, turning the basketball over is like a death sentence because they get easy baskets.
Yep.
And then last but not least, let's see if you can shoot. as a team at least 75% from the free throw line.
How about better than 60% tonight? Because it was 58 on Thursday.
I'm like at least 75%.
Amen. All right. High Flyer, great to work with you here from Beach Hut. The problem with our setup was you had to look directly at me the whole time, so I apologize for that.
That's all right. I've been squinting real hard, and I ain't got my reading glasses on, so we're good.
Good deal. All right. The High Flyer exits. He's heading over to the arena for Kings Live pregame. That'll be coming on at 6:30. I'll have one more segment for you coming live here from Beach Hut Deli. We're at the downtown location on 7th and K. And, of course, game night always being brought to you by our good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. More game night, including our injury report, coming up next right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
2024 means it's time to start something new and save up to $20,000 off MSRP on a new 2023 Ram 1500 DT Crew Cab 4x4 Eco Diesel from Knight Elk Grove Dodge. During the Start Something New sales event, Knight Elk Grove Dodge has over 30 new 2023 Ram 1500 DT Eco Diesels, all up to $20,000 off MSRP in the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovecdjr.com. MSRP $73,635, net price $53,590 after $9,000 dealer discount and $10,045 in rebates. NPN 537381 expires 1/31/24.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Welcome back into game night right here. Sactown Sports 1140. We're coming to you live from the Beachhead Deli. We're at the downtown location, 7th and K. Come on, hang out with Troy Feist. He is the man. Come on and hang out with him. He's the man who's made Beachhead Deli such a legendary institution to get your sandwiches in our greater Sacramento area for over 35 plus years. Brad Wakai, the new owner of this location, doing a tremendous job. Check them out. All right, let's get you ready for the game tonight. The injury report for the Kings. As we know, Sasha Vezenkov was listed as questionable with his ankle, but we are told he is cleared to play tonight. So the Kings are fully healthy for this one. As for the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young is out. He is in concussion protocol. He took an elbow to the face in Saturday night's game in Atlanta. He left the floor, did not return in a loss to the Cavs. He will not be available, and he is out, quote-unquote, indefinitely, so probably will not play at Golden State on Wednesday, and then we'll have to see how long it will take him to clear those concussion protocols. Also for the Hawks out tonight, DeAndre Hunter with his knee. So 2 starters out tonight for Atlanta. We know the Kings desperately wanting a win after losing 4 straight. Everything is set up for them. But as we know, we've said that on a couple of occasions this year, and it hasn't worked out that way. We all still have the sour taste of that Charlotte game when they came in and did not have their starters available, and they still were able to beat the Kings at Golden One Center. So that's a look at the injury report, again, brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm, providing justice for you since 1975. If you're injured, call the Arnold Law Firm, 916-777-7777. We know that one of the important things tonight for the Kings will be points in the paint, as Domantas Sabonis has been killing it from inside, his 12th double-double in the loss on Thursday. Look for Domas to get a quick start inside against the depleted Atlanta Hawks team. Will be looking for that all evening long. Or look at the points in the paint. Brought to you by RT Painting, your reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. All right, we have just a couple of minutes left here to update things in Philadelphia with Joel Embiid. He's truly having the performance of the year so far. Philly taking on the Spurs. Embiid currently at 65 points, trying to get 70-plus. There's only been 8 players in NBA history to reach 70-plus points. Kyle, I know you're back at the studios. Give us the list of who has been 70-plus.
Yes, so all-time 8 players have gotten 70 or more points. Kobe Bryant, David Thompson.
81. Yep, give us the numbers. Kobe, 81.
David Thompson, 73. Damian Lillard, 71. Donovan Mitchell, 71. David Thompson, 71. Elgin Baylor, 71. Devin Booker, 70. And then we have 6 Wilt Chamberlain games.
Yeah, what was his highest? It was the 100.
Of course, 100 points.
Yes.
And our friend Joel Embiid is now up to 66.
All right, he's got a great chance to become a member of the 70-point club. We will see if he can get that done. We know they'll be tracking it all evening long as Kings Live pregame coming your way here next. It's a 7 o'clock tip tonight, Kings and Hawks, the G-Man with the call. That's going to do it for game night. Our sincere thanks to the people at Beach Hut Deli, downtown location on 7th and K, for having us here tonight. High Flyer and myself, we enjoyed spending our time here. We'll have to do it again as we get you ready for the Kings game tonight. Kings and Hawks, we'll have it all evening long right here on Sactown Sports 1140. Keep it tuned here. This game's also, by the way, nationally televised on NBA TV tonight. So hopefully the Kings can turn around the 4-game losing skid. Good time to get it done at home tonight against an Atlanta team that is a little bit banged up. That does it for game night. Enjoy Kings basketball all evening long right here. Sactown Sports 1140. Have a great night.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned. Our attention